Salute to all the Patreon members. I want to thank you guys for your support. It really means a lot to me. Salute to all the subscribers. Salute to all the new viewers. Check out the links in the description box below for the Patreon page. I make new videos on that Patreon page all the time. The last week or two has been kind of slow because I've been really, really busy. All right. I was in Alaska last week, and literally a couple hours ago, I just had some downtime. Right. I'm actually finally able to sit down and actually have some free time right now. But I've been busy for the last 15 days straight, so it's been kind of difficult for me. But now in the morning I'm going to make a Patreon video, so stay tuned to that. Check out the links in the description box below for that. Link in the description box below for the Facebook page. Don't want to miss that either. So let's get into it. For those that don't know, well, you should have seen it by now. Excuse me. CEO Andy Byron of the company Astronomer. I did some digging on Astronomer. Astronomer is like an AI company. The little bit of research that I did, I guess they specialize in AI, using AI for marketing and for other businesses and whatever. I looked at Andy Byron's salary. On one podcast, they said he was making $160,000. But when I looked it up online, his position is open right now, and they're paying between $450K and $700,000. So I'm gonna just go with, let's just go right in the middle, $600K. All right, because since the position's open, that is the salary range depending on whatever your background is. They're looking for a new CEO of that company. So I'm not going to believe whatever they said on the podcast. I'm going to believe what the internet is saying. And there are several sources saying that the opening position is between $450K and $700,000. So I'm going to assume he made about $600K. All right. Coldplay, they got a couple songs that I like. I don't have them on my playlist or anything like that, but when I hear it out and about, I know the words, I know the songs. They don't make bad music, very popular. But the thing is that when you are, fuck it, let's just use Kevin Samuels' term, which wasn't really his term. It was a term used in, what magazine was that? Basically, it wasn't Kevin Samuels' term, all right? But since he popularized the term, I just say, let's use this term. You got somebody that's of high status, high value, all right? CEO of a company. You have 2 kids and a wife at home. Same thing with this woman over here that was hired in the HR department. She got 2 kids and a wife at home. They did some digging in her, well, digging with her and her background. She married into someone sort of like a wealthy family, but still wanted to work, right? So the way they worded it, it was almost like she didn't have to work. She just wanted to, she didn't want to stay at home and be a housewife. She could have been, but she didn't want to. She wanted to get up, get out there and work. All right. One thing about it is, it's like, cheating is bad. You break the trust with somebody when you're cheating. You don't have sexual discipline. A lot of times, I was just thinking about this the other day, a lot of black men and black women get flack for lack of sexual discipline. A lot of people like to blame black men, but black women also. Black women are just as bad when it comes to lack of sexual discipline. I think they're worse. All right. But a lot of black people in general, they get blamed for having a lack of sexual discipline when y'all don't even know the half. When you travel and go to some of these other countries, you live around some of these different cultures, man, there's a lack of sexual discipline in humans in general. All right. Let's just not put it off on one race. Humans in general. Okay. When you take that oath, you walk down the aisle, you know, your union is binding through the state, the government, God, all three of them, and you and your spouse. Right? When you take that oath, what makes you a man, what makes you a woman is honing in and practicing sexual discipline, even when there's temptation around. It's like, hey, no, I love my spouse way too much to be doing this or to be even thinking about this. All right. But in this case, I'm not the moral police. All right. We're going to talk about this man right here making somewhere around a range of 600K. You have a staff. One of the people that you hire on your staff is a woman in HR that you find attractive. All right. A lot of people are saying that she didn't look as good as a wife. I don't like that. This isn't a really good angle of her at the concert. I've seen other pictures of her. She doesn't look that bad. All right. Really, as far as looks, the wife and her are kind of on the same level. All right. Has a connection with this woman, messing around, having an affair. And here you are, sloppy. You don't know how to handle certain proper protocols when things like this occur. Right. And if you're too, when things like this happen, because you're in a public place, it doesn't matter if you booked a suite, right? Doesn't matter if you booked a suite at the top row at the concert. Things like this happen when you go in public places, when you go to concerts, when you go to a game, when you go to whatever type of sport, a soccer match, wrestling match, a UFC fight. They put the camera in the audience, right? And when you react like this, if you think that when the camera's put on you like this, see, you're not really thinking ahead when you're doing things like that. Good, bad, right, or wrong, right? I already got the disclaimer out the way in the beginning. You're worth 600K. You're probably taking care of everything at home. You know, you're taking care of your staff. You have urges, right? You bought the house that your wife wanted. You bought the car or the cars that your wife wanted, right? You redecorated and did renovations and construction on the kitchen to design it the exact way your wife wanted it. Your kids are taken care of. They're going to college of their choice, or they're going, you're funding the path of their choice. Sometimes, man, like in other cultures, like it's perfectly normal and acceptable to let a little bit of steam off or try a little bit of something new here and there on the side and then go back home to your wife, as long as you're not bringing home diseases or another baby, right? You can see this in Latin America. You see this in Europe. You see this in Africa. You see this all over Asia. Red light districts all around the world, right? For people who want to let off, for men who, you know, hardworking men who want to let off some steam every once in a while, try something new. Not to say they don't love their wives. It's that when that 7-year itch kick in, it's kind of like, okay, this chick don't mean nothing to me. It's just something sexual. Pay, come back home. Good, bad, right, or wrong. The thing about this here is I'm assuming they lived in the Boston metro area, right? The company's probably in the Boston metro area. And to be honest, it don't matter. They could have flown, they could have lied and said, hey, there's a business meeting in California. I got to go there. I'll be back in a couple of days. This is the hotel I'm staying at. Yada, yada, yada. It don't matter where they was cheating at, right? This would have went viral regardless. Here's the thing, man. First of all, when you cheat, you don't go to public places like this. And, this shows me that you're not thinking 10 steps ahead. Hey, they got a kiss camera up in here. If they put it on us, just act normal. Don't act shy, right? Just act like we're supposed to be together. Or don't hold each other. Don't touch each other. Touch each other when you go back to the hotel, right? You're in public. If you take your HR personnel, whoever you hired, out and y'all aren't touching, yeah, questions could come up, but it's kind of like, hey, these are my colleagues. I'm treating them. You didn't see me hugged up on no woman or touching no woman or whatever. It would, come on, get over it. Whatever PDA that you're displaying out in public, you do that in the back room. You do that at the hotel. If you think you're going to react this way when somebody sees you or when the camera's put on you, you shouldn't be cheating. You don't know how to cheat. You don't know how to maintain a side chick. You don't know how to move with a side woman. You shouldn't be doing what it is that you're doing. I don't know what they got for Backpage now. You should have went on Craigslist. You should have went on Twitter. You should have went on OnlyFans and met up at a hotel and went back home. That's what you should have did. As a matter of fact, just like the caption says on this video, man, you should have used your passport if you was going to do all that. You're making around about $600K a year. I don't know what your bills are, your expenses, because, man, no matter how much money, we tend to live 2 weeks within our means, 2 paychecks within our means in America. It's just natural that way. Some people are frugal. Some people aren't. $600K for that position. So I'm assuming that after taxes, you was probably seeing about $38,000, $40,000 a month liquid. Baby, I'm the CEO of an AI company. I have a business meeting. There's a company of interest from the UK that want to meet up with us. It's a big, it's a big contract if we get with them, but we've agreed to go to them and meet up with them. All right. Hopefully we get the contract, but I don't know. It sounded good over the phone. We're just going to present our portfolio, go sightseeing over in Europe, come right back. I'm only going to be gone for 5 days. All right. You might not be going over to Germany or Amsterdam for 5 days at no meeting or whatever. Right? What it is that you're doing with this woman, you could have been doing with other women, paying for their services in a country where it's more acceptable and legal. Don't nobody know who you are over there. Nothing goes viral from the UK except for uprisings, and they barely go viral over there. If there was a kiss cam in the UK, it wouldn't even make its way over here. If this would have happened in the UK, it wouldn't even have made its way over here in America. What have you seen go viral in the UK on Instagram in America or TikTok or Twitter? Nothing. If there was a kiss cam in Thailand at some concert, this wouldn't have gone viral. What do you know that has gone viral from Instagram, Twitter, TikTok that came from Thailand? And unless you go looking for it, you've never seen it. It's never came across your timeline. And unless there was a wrongful death or an accident, that's a little different. You the CEO of a company, your wife really doesn't know the ins and outs of your operations. Hey, we got a big contract coming from Brazil. We're going to go meet up with the client. Hopefully we can, seal the deal on this negotiation process. Oh, that's wonderful. How long are you going to be gone? I'm only going to be gone for 5 days. Go down there and meet up with a big booty Latina. You got the money, pay for elite services down there in Brazil. Don't get the little hoes on the street that's scopamine people. You should have used your passport if you needed to get this. I need to release this into another woman. That's what I need to do. Why are you shitting and eating in the same place? This man is shitting, eating, working, reading in the same place. You don't have to. You make enough. Your status is high enough to where, man, you can make up something with your wife. Take out some cash before you go, exchange it at the airport, use the credit card because, your wife, she's looking at the credit card account. She's looking at the balance. Okay, yes, he did check in. This is that and the third, but your cash is paying, is tricking. That's trick money for the hoes in Brazil or Colombia, whatever excuse you came up with. The hell you looking at Mary and Susan right next to you? Go down to Brazil, Colombia, get you an Esmeralda. This would have never, see, the thing is this is way too close to home, right? Maybe you could have done this 20 years ago. You could have done this 20 years ago if somebody would have seen you, somebody would have went to your wife and said, hey, I went over to this concert and I could have sworn I seen your husband hugged up with somebody else. Your wife would have told that person, you've been messy and jealous ever since I got married to my husband. Get the fuck out my face. Then she would have went to the husband and said, hey, so-and-so said this, and the third. Now, tell me right now, was you at the concert or was you where you said you were? I was where I said I was. You need to stop listening to this. We're married. We have children. And you're letting demons come up in this house and separate us. You know what? I'm sorry. It was my mistake for even asking you. I should have never listened to that person. That's how that would have went 20 years ago. Now, there's a camera everywhere. They didn't have to release the footage because the venue released the footage. Probably the band released the footage. If I was him, man, look, he might have a lawsuit. Like, hey, this didn't come from somebody's phone. This came from you. This came from your camera crew. Here's the thing. You're not a regular employee at a Fortune 1000 company, Fortune 500, Fortune 50, whatever. You're not a regular employee. You're not. You know, you don't. You're not an employee. You are and you're not. You're the CEO of a company that's paying you pretty good money for the position that you're in. Right? This is the type of shit that somebody from Amazon would do, respectfully. Right? This is the type of shit that an unskilled laborer would do. This is the type of shit that a manager at Fred Meyer's would do. This is the type of shit that you know what I'm saying? Somebody at a middle class. This is somebody between the 40,000 and the $80,000 range would do. Man, you got money. That's not like if you're trying to hold your family together, you don't do no shit like this. You got to spend the money a little bit. You got to spend a little bit of money. You get what you pay for. If you don't know how to spend the money without your wife being suspicious, then you shouldn't be doing it at all. And then you went down, you get what you pay for. You went down the cheap route and went right up the road to a concert where people from the area can see, they know who you are. And here's the thing, even if you flew across the country to go to this concert, you don't understand how the internet works. You don't understand what these social media platforms are doing. You don't understand the type of content creators are making. You made the New York Post. You made TMZ. You own a lot of different publication outlets because you went cheap with your cheating. You weren't trying to be slick. You weren't trying to be low. See, even if you kept it, you could still cheat within the same city you live in and not get caught and go up the. What you do is you find somebody who's trapping out of the hotel. You find somebody that's trapping out of their apartment complex. That's who you find. You find somebody who is exchanging their services for your money for a limited time, 20, 30 minutes. You doing stuff like this, you spending hours with this woman. That concert was hours. then he would have, if he wouldn't have gotten caught with this, he would have taken it. He would have eventually gotten caught regardless, right? This is, Tony's cheating stories on YouTube, right? People talk about how husbands talk about how they caught their wives cheating on them, write it up on Reddit, then he reads it off of Reddit. This one right here, that has to be at the top of the list on Reddit. How these people got caught. I've never heard a story like this coming from Tony's cheating stories on YouTube. Look at how y'all got caught. If he didn't get caught this way, as slow as this guy seems when it comes to cheating, he would have eventually gotten caught. How would he have gotten caught? He would have been taking her, he would have started buying her gifts, taking her out on vacation. He would have eventually gotten caught anyway. You doing it wrong. Every other country knows how to do it right. Every other country knows, hey man, you go to this broth, you walk down this street over here, pick a number. She got a room. There's a room upstairs, or she lived nearby, paid a little $30, $40, in and out in 15, 20 minutes, and you back home. You don't get caught that way. But see, the thing is, it's like he went the relationship route. This man had feelings for this woman. He went down the relationship route, which is something a lot of brothers don't do, even though he's not a brother, but you know what I'm saying? Most brothers get caught this way because they don't like to pay for another woman's services, because it's like, especially black people are always seeking validation, clowning each other and talking about how you can't get no women. Oh, you paying for it? You see that? Look, he can't even get a girl. He ain't got no hoes. 5th grade insults. He ain't got no woman. See, that's an insult amongst black folks if you don't have the gift of getting women with your personality, right? They look at you differently than other races. Other races, they don't, that's their thing. People cheat also. People have other relationships. People leave their significant other for somebody else they've been messing with on the side all the time, right? In other races, but they also, there's no shame. They don't have shame in paying for sex and then going back home. That's something that we shame each other for in the black community, right? So here's the thing. I don't know how long they've been messing around with each other. Seemed like it was new, fresh, because they said she got hired back in November, 8 months ago, right? I mean, between November and now, I don't know when they started messing around. Wasn't more than, I don't think it was longer than 6 months. I want to say 2 or 3 months. This looks like it's probably new and fresh. Within the last 90 days, they started hooking up. This man didn't even get time to feel a certain level of remorse and spiritually repent and slowly wing himself off of this woman to make things right with his family and realize, like, hey, okay, I have my fun. She's not trying to say anything. She has a husband. I mentioned to her that, hey, I just feel like we had our time. We got spouses. I think we should do the right thing and be loyal to our spouses. Maybe she would have agreed. I'm sure she would have agreed. We just need to back off and still treat each other with respect. But you didn't even get time to actually repent for what you did and feel sorry for what you did and be like, hey man, I didn't get caught. I did this, this, and a third. We hooked up a few times. I'm not gonna do that no more. You didn't even get time to do that. And then it looked like there were other workers from the company that was there, or her friend was there, and she laughing at them also, embarrassed. See, you bring in everybody in the office, her circle know about it. Man, if you go cheating, right, you got to be in a position where you and your girl are the only two people that know about it. I will say this. I'll give it as she at least she hooked up with somebody. At least she cheated up. I will say that. At least she cheated up. Because there's certain groups of women out here, they'll get a position like that and go take her check and go get somebody from prison that she never met in the real world. She met him through a prison app. She never met him when he was free. There's some women out there like that. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So at least she cheated up, but I blame this on him, right? Even though the feeling was mutual, and women, they're the ultimate ones that have to give consent for anything that goes on in a relationship or a situationship. Women give the final consent at the end of the day. So she was wrong for it. But at the same time, this is how weak this guy is. You see, in the workplace, you're around somebody for hours, there's sexual tension that builds up. I get it. That's the easiest place to hook up with somebody is at the job. You see this person damn near more than you see your wife or you see your significant other. You around this person, you the CEO, you probably around this person 10 hours a day. It take you an hour and a half to get home through rush hour. You get home, you eat, sleep, shit, go to bed. Eat shit, take a shower, go to sleep. And maybe talk to your wife about her day. You probably only around your wife 2-3 hours before you gotta do everything all over again. Consciously, you around your wife. Yeah, you in bed with your wife at night for a certain amount of time, but when you're awake, you probably only around her 2, 3, 4 hours at most, and then you back to this woman right here 10 hours out the day. So I get it, but you're not thinking. If you're trying not to get caught, man, that is not what you do, especially somebody of money, means, and status of you. You could have cheated way better than that. You could have made a phone call to somebody who was running a legit escort service, good reputation, discreet. You should have used your passport at least. And if you didn't, you should have made a phone call. You should have found out. You should have did your due diligence and done your research. Somebody of your status like that, You have the access, the money you have that you could have put in the street to find out that information, you got it. I'm going on a business trip. I'll be back in 5 days. You over in Thailand. You over in the Philippines. You over in Colombia. You over in Panama. You over in the DR. You over in Brazil. You over in Canada. No, you over in the HR department. Building up chemistry in front of everybody. Everybody can see y'all too. Fool. Use your passport. And now this was such an embarrassing moment that I know both parties are going to get, they're going to lose their livelihood, both parties. But see him, he's going to be able to get another job, right? He's going to be paying child support, spousal support, but I think his kids are old enough. His two sons are probably old enough now where he don't owe child support. So losing your money, half of everything, and paying spousal support, that's going to happen, but he'll be all right. He'll be able to bounce back. You lost the house. You got to downgrade it to a condo now, right? You tore your family apart, but he'll be able to get another job and move into a nice condo, stay there for about a year or two, then upgrade to a house. He just needs a couple years, right? Her, on the other hand, her divorce is probably going to be different. Her divorce, she going to be moving into her sister's house. The woman, especially when they get caught, they get it bad. They get it bad. She going to have to move into her family's house, her sister's house, somebody. But see, here's the thing. You know, I stopped dating women in America about a year or two ago. I just said enough is enough. So, but even then, you still got to be cautious and careful when you go to different countries. And that leads me to the second part of this video right here. Going back to Panama, I'm aiming for mid-August next month. I'll talk more about it on the Patreon page. So you guys don't want to miss that. Check that out. Link in the description box below. Very cheap to sign up. But yeah, I thought, for a long time about where I wanted to go. I still don't want to go that far. DR was in the back of my mind, but for whatever reason, I'm not comfortable right now at this moment in time going to the DR. I don't know what it is. Something's telling me not to go to the DR. It's either Mexico or Panama, right? I wanted to go to Iceland, Norway, Finland, Sweden, one of those Slavic countries. I did think about Germany. Asia is out the question. Asia, like I lived in Asia for a long time. Asia's out of my system. Everything I had lined up over there, it's not really falling through. There's a lot of pump faking going on. So I'm done with Asia, and it's way too far. Take too much time that I have, the free time that I have. It'll take a little over a day, 24 hours, just to make my way over there. So I'm not going to Asia. So I will be going back to Panama. I am meeting up with somebody over there that I met the first time. We're still communicating, and I'm going to go more into detail about that on Patreon. So check that out in the link in the description box below. that Patreon video will be up in the morning. All right. You guys be safe. Have a good night. I'm over and I'm out. Peace.